Hello and welcome, my dear friend. There is a way God looks at you that would undo every lie you've ever believed about yourself. It's not the way people look at you when they're impressed. It's not the way they look when they're curious or suspicious. It's deeper, older, wiser. Before your first breath, before your first cry filled the air, His gaze was already on you, not scanning for flaws, not searching for reasons to approve, but holding you as complete. Most people think God's view of them changes like human opinions do, that He has good days with you and bad days with you. But God's vision isn't built on moods or moments. It's anchored in eternity. When He looks at you, He doesn't just see who you are right now. He sees every step you've taken to get here, the victories that nobody even noticed, the nights you whispered prayers you weren't sure He heard, the moments you kept going when it would have been easier to collapse. He sees it all, and He counts it all. When you stood up for what was right, not because anyone was watching, but because something inside you couldn't betray the truth, He saw it. When you chose compassion instead of revenge, even though revenge felt more satisfying, He saw it. When you forgave yourself enough to try again, He saw that too. And here's the part that might surprise you. God does not only see the best version of you, He sees the way your hand lingers on the table after a prayer, as if holding on to the last thread of hope. He catches the quiet shift in your breathing when you're holding back words you can't explain. And He doesn't turn away from those moments. You were honest the whole time. So even the moments you'd rather hide don't push Him away. They draw Him closer. Think of an artist looking at their masterpiece, not from across the room, but with their hands still stained from the work. Every brushstroke, every layer, every shadow was intentional. When He sees you, it's with that same intimacy. You are not a project He's still deciding about. You're not a risk He's waiting to see pay off. You are His, and He's already decided that your existence is worth showing to heaven. Imagine this, a gathering in the spiritual realm, angels assembled, the kind of hush that falls when something important is about to happen. And God says, "Look at this one." And they see you. They see the courage you didn't name as courage. They see the faith you didn't think counted, because it wasn't loud enough. And in that moment, heaven doesn't see you as barely making it. They see you as someone God is proud to claim. This is why I need you to hear me. God's vision of you is never based on your last mistake. It's based on the whole story, and He knows the ending. Maybe society convinced you to spend too much time looking at yourself through the lens of failure or delay, measuring your worth by what hasn't happened yet. But God's perspective isn't trapped in the now. He sees where you are and where this is going. He knows the seed He planted in you, the one that hasn't bloomed yet, but is already alive inside you. He knows the relationships that fell apart were clearing space for the ones that will last. He knows the no you got last year will make the yes coming next feel like divine timing, because it will be. And the way He sees you right now, it's not as someone half-finished. It's as someone walking through a chapter that is going to matter more than you can imagine. That's why you can't measure His love for you by what's in your hands at this exact moment. Because His love isn't reactionary, it's foundational. He isn't waiting for you to achieve something before He approves of you. You are already His example, already His proof to the spiritual realm that faith still works, that light still wins, that chosen ones still stand. So here's the challenge for you today. Not to earn His gaze, but to start seeing yourself in the reflection of it. If you could see what He sees when He looks at you, you wouldn't waste another second questioning if you're enough. You would understand that you've been enough since the beginning, that the strength you carry is not an accident, that the reason you've survived what would have crushed someone else is because He made you that way. And when he sees you walking in that truth, not hiding it, not downplaying it, not apologizing for it, the same heaven that watched you be formed will watch you be fulfilled. Because this, right now, is not the end of your story. It's the scene before the reveal. And the way God sees you is already pulling the ending toward you. Think of a gardener with a single plant in the middle of an empty field. The rest of the world sees just a plant. But the gardener, they know exactly how deep the roots go. They know the storms it survived, the nights it went without enough rain, the way the wind bent it without breaking it. That's how God sees you. Not as just another life in the crowd, but as something he's been tending to with intention since the very beginning. There are people who will measure you by the moments they happen to notice, but God measures you by the whole story. The late nights you stayed up wrestling with your thoughts, the early mornings you got up before the world just to get your mind quiet enough to hear him. The tiny yes you gave him in a moment that felt too small to matter, but was bigger than you realized. And here's something you might not think about often. God doesn't just see what you've done. He sees why you did it. He knows when you gave, not because you had extra, but because you couldn't bear to see someone else go without. He knows when you extended grace, not because you felt strong, but because you didn't want to let bitterness build a home in you. This is the part of you he shows to angels with pride. Not the moments you managed to look faithful, but the deep, quiet character you've built when no one was looking. And I think that's important to remember, especially when life feels like it's moving too slowly. Because there's a temptation to believe that if no one sees your effort, it doesn't count. But in God's economy, the opposite is true. It's the hidden moments that carry the most weight, because it's full of trust. You may not realize this, but you've been in a season where heaven has been gathering evidence, not to judge you, but to prepare your reward. Evidence that you didn't give up when you could have. Evidence that you learned to trust him even when the instructions didn't make sense. Evidence that you cared for what he gave you, even when it looked like it was shrinking instead of growing. And now, he's getting ready to reveal you in a way that matches how he's always seen you. Because the version of you standing here today can actually carry what's coming. You've been refined in ways you didn't sign up for. You've had to grow thicker skin without losing a soft heart. You've had to let go of things that felt like they were a part of you, only to realize they were just taking up space for what he planned all along. It hasn't been easy, and maybe that's the part you've been wrestling with. Because if God sees you the way I'm describing, shouldn't life have been smoother? But here's the thing. Gold doesn't look like gold until it's been through the fire. And you've been in the kind of fire that doesn't just test you, it proves you. So when he looks at you now, he sees more than just the person he dreamed up before the stars. He sees someone who's been alone, misunderstood, and overlooked, and still kept walking. He sees someone who's been tempted to settle for less than his promise, and didn't. And the angels marvel at the resilience he's placed in you. They've seen the battles that were fought entirely in your mind, and the victories that no one here on earth celebrated. And every time you chose faith over fear, heaven noticed. So here's where I think you are now, standing at the edge of a moment where God is about to make his view of you public. The honor he's held in his heart for you is about to spill over into the visible parts of your life. And when it does, it won't just be a blessing you feel. It'll be a shift others can't ignore. So don't rush the last few steps. Don't think for a second that the quiet days mean nothing is happening. You're in the final stretch before the unveiling, before God shows the world the same person he's been proudly showing to angels all along. And when that happens, you'll understand why he took so much time. Because this was never about proving people wrong. It's about revealing that he was right to choose you all along. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If this message resonated, Please like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to stay connected. Continue your awakening journey by choosing one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there.